Hi friends, I'm Avani Abilash. I'm studying in 8th standard on St. Michael's Girls High Secondary School, West Hill, Kozhikode. How are you all? Hope all are doing good. Do you all have food? Have tea today? Yeah, tea is my favorite drink. Do you know why? We all get a refreshment by drinking tea. I always drink tea with mixture. Do you all love mixture? Here is a picture of mixture. What all substances include in this mixture? Yeah, let's separate this. Friends, now you can say it easily. Yeah, nuts, semia, etc. Friends, so today in this video we are going to study about the separation of different substances. These all are pure substances. These pure substances joins and makes a mixture. Materials made of particles of identical nature is called pure substance. Substance made of particles of different nature is called a mixture. Now let's complete a table on your textbook on page number 43. You can complete that table by watching this. Friends, you can see many separating methods in this table, isn't it? Yeah. Which are those three tables you see? Yeah, occasion or separation of, method of separation, and the property used for separation. So let's complete the table. The first occasion is tea drug from tea. How can we separate that? Yeah, we can separate it by filtration. The property used for separation is difference in the size of particles. Now we are moving to the second one. What is that? Yeah, separation of common salt from seawater. We all know that it's by evaporation. The property used for this separation is volatile nature of water. And the third one is chaff from paddy. Method of separation is winnowing. Winnowing. You can see the picture of winnowing. And the property used is the different in weight. And the last one is iron powder from a mixture of iron powder and aluminium powder. We all know that iron powder has a magnetic power, isn't it? Yeah. So the method of separation is magnetic separation. The property is, yes, magnetic property of iron. Friends, now you know that common salt is separated from seawater by evaporation. Is this method sufficient if water is also to be obtained through this method? Here, distillation can be used. What is meant by distillation? Let's check. Distillation is a method of obtaining pure liquid from a solution. In this method, solution is heated so that the liquid evaporates. Let's understand distillation within an experiment. Friends, this instrument is used for the process distillation. This is condenser, and this are one bottom flask and a beaker. So let's start the process. First of all, take some salt water, salt solution in a round bottom flask and heat the flask using a candle until steams come from it. After some time, you can see that the steam collected in the beaker in the form of droplets of water. After that, the steam condenses and reaches the beaker and the salt left behind round bottom flask. This method of separating soluble solids from liquid is known as distillation. If the components of mixture possess a large difference in their boiling points, distillation can be used. Distillation is used in many chemical processes such as distilled water, production of gasoline, alcohol, kerosene, etc. Now we learned about distillation, in which a mixture possesses large difference in their boiling points. If the mixture has small difference in their boiling points, fractional distillation can be used. Instead of condenser and round bottom flask, here a fractionating column is used. The fractionating column consists of a number of obstructions due to which the cooling area for the hot vapors increases. When vapors of both the liquids rise in the column, they come into contact with large area of obstructions. Vapor of liquid having lower boiling point rise up the column and pass over into the condenser. Vapor of liquid having lower boiling points rise up the column and passes through the condenser, whereas the vapor of liquid which has higher boiling points condenses in the column itself and the liquid trickles down back to the distillation flask. And this separation of two vapors takes place in the column. Fractionated columns are available in different shapes and designs. You can see the picture. Friends, have you heard about crude oil? Fractionating distillation is also used in crude oil. Crude oil, which is drilled out from the depths of the earth, is a mixture of hydrocarbons which do not have much difference in their boiling points. From this, petrol, diesel, kerosene are separated by fractional distillation. Friends, have you seen this flowchart before? I will explain this once again for you. Solid to liquid is liquefaction and liquid to solid is known as solidification. Liquid to gas is vaporization and gas to liquid is condensation. Gas to solid is solidification and solid to gas is sublimation. Sublimation? What is sublimation? Have you heard about this before? How is that possible? Iodine is a substance which turns to gas without forming into liquid. Let's see an experiment. Take some camphor in a china dish and place an inverted funnel over it. Plug a piece of cotton on the stem of the funnel and start heating the funnel using a candle. After some time, you can see that on heating, the camphor changes to vapors without forming into liquid. Later on, you will notice that the vapor gets cooled and deposited in the inner part of the funnel. This process, when a solid changes to gas without forming a liquid, is known as sublimation. Now, I think you all learned about sublimation. Friends, next we are going to learn about the method centrifugation. It's the process of separating the substance from a mixture which has difference in densities with the help of a machine called centrifuge. Let's conduct an experiment to see centrifugation. This method is used in the clinical laboratories. The aim of our process is how the principle of centrifugation helps in the separation of blood components from the blood. Have you heard about colloidal solutions? Yeah, the solutions which neither dissolve nor get settled down. Blood is an example for colloidal solution. Blood consists of many particles. Which are they? Yeah, white blood cells, plasma, platelets, etc. Usually in blood banks, if a blood is to be tested, the components of the blood is to be separated. So how can we separate these components? What do you think? Can we do filtration? No. Why? Yeah, it's because the particles of blood is very small, so it can pass through the filter paper easily. So what can we do? Yeah, here centrifugation can be used. As similar to merry-go-round, a machine called centrifuge is used in clinical laboratories to separate blood samples. In centrifuge machine, a blood sample taken in a test tube is rotated at a constant high speed. This process is called centrifugation. Centrifugation is based on centripetal acceleration. Due to centripetal acceleration, the heavier components, that is the red blood cells, move outwards. The white blood cells and platelets, which are lighter than red blood cells, form the middle layer, and the plasma, being the lightest, moves towards the center. In this way, components of blood get separated by the principle of centrifugation. Now we are going to learn about the last method, chromatography. Chromatography is a technique used to separate two or more dissolved solids which are present in a solution in very small quantities. So let's do an experiment to see chromatography. Take a filter paper and put a drop of black ink in it, and then take a jar filled half water and put the filter paper inside the jar as the level of water is just below the drop of black ink. After some time, you can see that the water level rises up gradually as the capillary action. As the water level rises, the dyes in the color also rises up and you can see different colors in black ink. These are the different dyes present in black ink. Different dyes have different solubility levels and travel at different speed as the water rises up. As a result, we can see different colored strips at different heights and the dye gets separates. Hence, the paper chromatography is used to separate the colors from the dyes. Have you seen this before? This is a separating funnel. A mixture of immiscible liquid can be separated by using this laboratory equipment called separating funnel. A separating funnel is a cone-shaped glass container and has a globe-like top. It also has a stopper at the top and a tap at the bottom. Using a separating funnel, let's separate oil and water. We'll begin the process by pouring oil and water to the funnel, and we'll close the stopper and shake the funnel gently and set it aside for several minutes. Now we'll see that the two liquids beginning to pull apart. Water, which has high density, will travel down to the conical part of the flask, and the oil, which has less density, will float on the surface of water. Now we'll place a beaker underneath the separating funnel and remove the stopper, and let the water collect in the beaker. Closing it once all the water drains out, the remaining oil can be collected in another beaker by placing the beaker beneath the funnel. Now the two liquids are completely separated. So the summary is, a separating funnel is used to separate a mixture of two immiscible liquids. Friends, now I think you have learned the 6 separating methods well. So I'm concluding my class here. Have a nice day, friends, and thank you.